Are you a gamer, Ben? And what console do you use if you are?
I am. I'm PS4. Hopefully soon to be PS5 if I can.
Oh, you can't buy one for love of the money at the minute, can you?
Yeah, it's mad, mate. It is mad. What about you guys?
We're both PS4.
We've got a little setup in this house. We've got our PS4s lined up right next to each other in the TVs.
Me and my mate used to do something similar as that as well, not long ago.
What's your favourite game for PlayStation then?
I would, about a year ago, I was still absolutely battering FIFA, but I kind of stopped playing that last season, didn't get the new one, and then just probably the same as you guys, Call of Duty, which is what I've been, battering for the last however long. So yeah, definitely COD, I'd say.
What about Rocket League?
I've not. What's Rocket League? I've never heard of that.
Oh, it's like, how would you explain it?
It's like car football. It's like car football. It's so addictive. I think it's free as well.
On PS4?
So it's
yeah,
I think it's free.
I'll have to have a look at that there. I've never heard of that. See, old age, 32, never heard of it.
I've got a good idea, being as one of your previous answers, what the answer to this is going to be. But which manager gave you your biggest selling off in football, and what was it for?
Well, there's two, to be fair. This might fall under my funniest story also. When I was, I think it was 15, I signed for West Brom. I don't know if you remember a manager called Gary Megson.
Yeah.
Big, angry, ginger guy. And he was the first team manager at West Brom at the time. And obviously when I'd signed, I'd not really heard about, the etiquette in football of calling managers gaffer or boss or anything like that. So this was like the first week I'd kind of signed at West Brom, 15 years old, just walking into the training ground, and he was walking the other way. So I've said, "All right, mate," to him as I was walking down the corridor. No one told me you've got to call him gaffer or boss or anything like that. So I've just gone, "All right, mate," and carried on walking. And then literally 5 minutes later, there was a team meeting. Craig Shakespeare was youth team manager at the time. And he just kind of pulled us in, and Gary Megson was in there and just said, like, every one of my players in there in the first team dressing room treats me with respect. They're worth £1 million, £2 million. Like, if any of you don't call me or treat me with respect, then I'll send you straight back and you won't have a career at this football club. So I thought that was my career over after literally a week of being at West Brom. So that was up there. And yeah, I mean, the amount me and Steve Evans used to have arguments every week, so over various things. But I think one of the worst ones was we had training on the Sunday or the Monday, and he saw me out on the Saturday night in town, or his assistant Paul Rayner did. So that didn't go down too well with him when we were in training the next day or the day after, I think it was.
So who's the best player that you've played against?
I played against Roy Keane in a reserve game when I was really young, about 17, 18. He was just come back from injury, so yeah, he's probably up there as the best I've played against.
Best player you've played with?
There's three. I can't decide between the three of them whenever I get asked this. Tom Kearney, Aidan McGeady, and Scott Parker.
Yeah, I think Scott Parker goes so underrated as a footballer personally. I think if it weren't for Lampard and Gerrard, I think he'd have had 100 England caps myself. I can see why you've said that. Yeah,
he was at Fulham. I remember the first 2 weeks we had to play a game where you went man for man. And he was 34, 35 at the time. I was literally 26, 27. And you basically, if your man scores, then it's a certain point to a team or whatever. But yeah, it was 20 minutes, half an hour, and I literally got nowhere near him in about half an hour. Unbelievable.
Just picking up on Scott Parker very quickly. Seems like a really good bloke. Are you pleased to see him doing all right as a manager now?
Yeah, no, he is. He's top man. Like, what you see is kind of what you get with him. You know, he doesn't change behind the scenes or anything like that. So he'll have a good managing career, I'm sure.
His funniest teammate, either at current team Morecambe or that you've ever played with?
I'd have to say Miles Addison, who I was with at Derby, who I'm still good friends with today.
Favourite ground you've played at?
St James's Park, 'cause obviously I'm a Newcastle fan, and Wembley as well.
Who was your idol growing up?
It was David Ginola, and then obviously Alan Shearer as well. But more Ginola growing up, and then when Shearer joined, he kind of took over.
Right, you must get asked this all the time, Ben. I'm sure you must be so sick and tired of this question. What is your favourite flavour of Pringle?
I'm a salt vinegar kind of guy. Straightforward.
Oh, good choice.
Right, so I've just got 10 questions on your career here, Ben. We're going to just, like you say, keep a tally on how all our guests do over the course of the season, and we'll tot them all up at the end. So question number 1, you made your Derby debut in a 2-1 win against Peterborough United in 2010. You were brought on as an 80th minute substitute, but who did you come on for?
What a question that is. I'm going to say Lee Croft, even though I don't think it is him.
It is Lee Croft, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was also making his debut in that game as well.
Yeah.
In the same game, who scored an 87th minute winner for Derby?
Gary Teal.
Correct. Question number 3, who was your first league start for Rotherham against?
What question that is? Barnet away?
It was Burton at home.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah. You made a
You
couple of
hope you got it
appearances
right.
off the bench. I hope. Oh God, I've got egg on my face if that's wrong, but that's what it said on the internet. I could be wrong.
I think it is wrong, to be fair, but.
I'll have to go and check that out. We'll give you the point at the end if it is. In your promotion winning campaign in League 2 in 2012-13, which team put you out of the FA Cup in the 3rd round?
Aldershot?
Yeah, correct. Moving on to your 13-14 promotion winning campaign. In a 3-1 Derby Day win over Sheffield United in September, who scored Rotherham's 3rd and final goal? Clue. Clue. It would go on to be his only goal for the Millers.
Rob Milsom.
Correct. In the same season, which current EFL manager scored the goal to inflict your first defeat in the league that season?
In League 1, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to know it, but I don't know.
It was Grant McCann who scored a penalty for Peterborough in a 1-0 win at the end of September.
Yeah, I don't think I would have got
that. In a 6-4 defeat at Wolverhampton Wanderers at the back end of the season, Kieran Agard scored a hat-trick for Rotherham. Who scored Rotherham's other goal that day?
Where's Thomas?
No, it was
Joe Scores. Joe Scores.
Oh.
We do have to take your first answer. But
yeah, go on.
Half a point.
We'll give you half. Question 8. Who did Rotherham beat in the penultimate game of the 14-15 season to secure their championship status for another year?
Reading.
Correct. On the opening day of the 15-16 season, who did you make your league debut for Fulham against?
Cardiff.
Yep. And finally, can you name the 2 sides that your current Morecambe side overcome to set up the FA Cup 3rd round clash with Chelsea earlier in the season?
It was Solihull and Malden and Tiptree.
Yeah, right. So that is. There's still a bit of debate about the league start for Rotherham. We'll tally it up at the end and we'll let you know how you get on. I think it's about 7.5, 8. So
not too bad then.
No,
well,
not
best
too
so
bad.
far.
I'm sure that there'll be many people who do worse. I'm sure.
Yeah.